हेलो दोस्तों, मैं हूं स्मिता कुमार और आप देख रहे हैं आपका अपना हेल्थ चैनल मेडी सर्कल। दोस्तों, जिस तरह से साइंटिस्ट ने कोविड की वैक्सीन एक साल के अंदर डेवलप कर ली, काश ऐसा होता कि सभी बीमारियों के वैक्सीन होते और इस तरह से हम कई जिंदगियां बचा सकते थे। क्योंकि अभी भी ऐसी कई बीमारियां हैं जिनका इलाज ही संभव नहीं है। उस केस में सिर्फ वैक्सीन एक तरीका है जिस तरह से उस बीमारी को रोका जा सकता है और मौत के आंकड़ों को कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है। आपने एचआईवी और एड्स का नाम जरूर सुना होगा। एचआईवी और एड्स से रिलेटेड कुछ फैक्ट्स मैं आपके सामने रखना चाहूंगी। 2019 के आखिर तक अप्रॉक्स 38 मिलियन यानी 38 मिलियन लोग एचआईवी के साथ जी रहे थे। डब्ल्यूएचओ के अनुसार एचआईवी एक ग्लोबल पब्लिक हेल्थ इश्यू बन गया है जिसने लगभग अब तक 33 मिलियन यानी 33 मिलियन लोगों के जीवन का अंत कर दिया है। करीब 6,90,000 लोग एचआईवी के कारणों से 2020 में और 1.5 मिलियन लोग एचआईवी से नए संक्रमित थे। साल 2020 में दुनिया भर में करीब 27.4 यानी 27.4% मिलियन एचआईवी पॉजिटिव लोग 8 थेरेपी ले रहे हैं, 8 जिसे एंटी रेट्रोवायरल थेरेपी भी कहते हैं। लोगों के मन में इस बीमारी को लेकर के अलग अलग धारणाएं बनी हुई हैं। ये बीमारी कई सालों से है लेकिन अभी तक हम इसका कोई भी इलाज नहीं ढूंढ पाए हैं। तो क्या अभी भी ये बीमारी इतने साल होने के बाद भी मौत का पैगाम लेकर आती है, या हमारे साइंटिस्ट और एमिनेंट डॉक्टर्स ने कोई ऐसा तरीका ढूंढ निकाला है जिससे हम एड्स को मात दे सकते हैं, हरा सकते हैं। साथ ही साथ इस बारे में हम जानेंगे अपने डॉक्टर्स से, अपने एक्सपीरियंस डॉक्टर्स से, उनसे बातें करके उनसे जानकारी लेंगे कि क्या ये जो भी बीमारी है इसका कोई वैक्सीन इंडिया में अवेलेबल है, और अगर नहीं तो इस वैक्सीन की उम्मीद कब तक की जा सकती है, कब तक हमें एचआईवी और एड्स से डरने की ज़रूरत है। अगर दोस्तों वैक्सीन होगी तो 100% हम इस रोग को हरा सकते हैं। लेकिन इसके साथ ही साथ जो एड्स के जो कारण है, जो सेक्सुअली ट्रांसमिटेड डिजीजेस के है कि यू मस्ट बी हैविंग वन पार्टनर सिस्टम और सेफ सेक्स होना चाहिए, कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स और कॉन्डम्स का यूज होना चाहिए, वो भी उतना ही जरूरी है। लेकिन अगर जिन लोगों को एड्स हो चुका है, कुछ ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो डायरेक्ट इसकी वजह नहीं है, बहुत बार गर्भवती महिलाओं से बच्चों में भी एड्स ट्रांसफर हो जाता है, उनको हम किस तरह से जिंदगी दे सकते हैं, उनकी जानें कैसे बचा सकते हैं। मेडी सर्कल पे आप हमेशा सही इन्फॉर्मेशन, राइट इन्फॉर्मेशन पाएंगे, डायरेक्ट एक्सपीरियंस डॉक्टर्स और एक्सपर्ट्स की जुबानी। तो आइए जानते हैं इन स्पेशलिस्ट से कि क्या एड्स की वैक्सीन अवेलेबल है इंडिया में, और अगर नहीं तो कब तक हो सकती है, जिससे हम कई जिंदगियों को बचा सकते हैं। स्टे हेल्थी, स्टे ट्यून टू मेडी सर्कल।
Developing vaccines is not easy. It requires extensive research and hard work from eminent scientists, followed by clinical trials to check the efficacy of vaccines. Millions of people across the globe wait for this vaccine, which is a boon for AIDS. The vaccine is a therapeutic approach and best preventive treatment that can work in preventing this fatal disease called AIDS. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome is a chronic, potentially life-threatening disease caused by HIV, that is human deficiency virus. As the entire globe waits for the AIDS vaccine, we at MediCircle are conducting an awareness series at the onset of World AIDS Vaccine Day to educate people about AIDS and its preventive measures from eminent expert doctors and medical professionals. Hi, this is Sana Khan, and today in this initiative, we're going to speak to Dr. Lakshman Jasani. Dr. Lakshman is an infectious diseases specialist in Mumbai and provides care for patients with a broad range of infectious diseases. With more than a decade of experience in the field of medicine, he's currently working at Apollo Hospital in Navi Mumbai. He has been awarded the prestigious International Infectious Diseases Fellow in United States and also has been trained at famous Wayne State University, Detroit, USA. He has also received fellowship by Royal School of Public Health in UK. He has more than 25 national and international indexed publications to his credit. Wow, please welcome Dr. Lakshman. Welcome to MediCircle. How are you?
Sada, thank you to the MediCircle for giving opportunity to pass a very important message to all the viewers. So I'm glad I will be able to contribute.
Thank you so much, sir. This is our pleasure, in fact. Okay, so Dr. Lakshman, to begin with, why is CD4 count very important in the diagnosis of AIDS and how can it be improved with medications?
Yeah, so it is important to understand what is CD4 count and what does it represent. So
Okay.
CD4 count is a type of a blood test which we do typically in patients who are suffering from HIV/AIDS.
Okay,
So this CD4 count represents the immunity of the patient. So
right.
a patient who is having a normal CD4 count is having good immunity and is not suffering from any infection. But as we know, in these patients who are having HIV and when they go on to develop AIDS, that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, their
Right.
immunity wanes off over a period of time. So
Okay.
as their immunity wanes off, we need to measure how much is the immunity getting waned off. So to
Right.
measure that, we do the CD4 count. So CD4 count is an indirect measurement to check the immunity of the patient. So in
Right.
patients with HIV/AIDS, we know that the CD4 count will be low, and depending on the CD4 count, we categorize the patients as stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 of HIV disease they are having. So in a short speaking, basically you can say that the CD4 is a marker of immunity. Lower CD4 count means more severe is the infection and more immunocompromised the patient is there. So that is why it is important to check CD4 count in patients who are having HIV/AIDS.
Right. So, Dr. Lakshman, patients suffering from AIDS are prone to low immunity. Which kind of other infections are they susceptible to?
Yeah, so as you rightly said, patients with HIV/AIDS, their immunity is low, and when their immunity is low, they are at high risk for developing infections. Now, in a normal person, the CD4 count will be anywhere between 1000 to 1500. But
Okay.
in patients who are having HIV, their CD4 count will drop below 500. So
Oh,
we can know that depending on the CD4 count, we can know what type of infections they are going to develop. For
right.
example, if the CD4 counts is there below 200, then they
Mhm.
are at risk for developing pneumocystis carinii, or what we now call as pneumocystis jirovecii infection. So that are
Okay.
those are the infections which occur at CD4 count less than 200. If we
Right.
talk about still further, the CD4 count less than 100, then they are risk for developing infections like toxoplasma, tuberculosis. So these are the infections which they develop. And finally, if the infections are there below 50, then they are at risk for developing infections such as CMV, Cryptococcus meningitis, and Mycobacterium avium complex. So
Right.
these infections develop. So depending on the level of CD4 count, there are various type of infections which they develop. I have just named a few, but there are many more infections which these patients develop as their CD4 count falls.
Okay. So, Dr. Lakshman, how important is the need for an AIDS vaccine?
Yeah, so you rightly put it. AIDS vaccine is the need of the hour. Just
Right.
as we have taken example of hepatitis B. So
Ji.
when we have a hepatitis B vaccine, we are pretty safe that if we take the hepatitis B vaccine, we are not going to get hepatitis B infection. So similarly, there is a
Mhm.
need to develop an HIV/AIDS vaccine. So with that vaccine, if one takes the AIDS vaccine, we can be pretty sure that patient will not get HIV/AIDS after exposure. So, but that type of vaccine is still not available. Research is going on, and the very ability of the HIV virus to mutate so frequently is the reason why this AIDS vaccine is still not into the circulation. We need
Right.
more and more research, more and more data regarding this HIV/AIDS vaccine. There is
Okay.
another type of AIDS vaccine which we know which is called as a functional cure. That means if a patient who is having HIV/AIDS, if he takes these vaccines, he does not need to take any treatment for HIV. So it
Right.
is a kind of a functional cure. So they are these two types of vaccines. One is for the functional cure, and one is basically to prevent HIV infection from occurring. These are the two type of vaccines for which the research is going on, and maybe in days to come we will see the results.
We hope so, Doctor. Okay, and would you please give our viewers a brief of early symptoms of AIDS?
Yeah. So HIV/AIDS during the initial period, that is the incubation period of maybe 5 to 10 years. Many patients may not have any symptoms as well. So patient may
Okay.
be completely normal, not having any symptoms. If a
Okay.
patient has developed HIV very recently, then they can have a flu-like symptoms. For example, they'll have fever, they'll have malaise, they will have generalized lymphadenopathy, which may subside down over a period of time. So these are the symptoms of the acute HIV syndrome. That is, the patient has acquired the infection very recently. After
Oh,
the acute infection, the patient goes into an incubation period, a latent period, wherein which the patient does not have any symptoms at all. And later on, maybe after say 5 years or so, the patient develops symptoms of HIV. And these are the symptoms of HIV, like patient will develop loss of weight, loss of appetite, patient will have fever, patient will have enlarged lymph nodes. And secondly, as the disease progresses, patient's immunity goes down. So patient develops specific to these infection, they develop specific symptoms. For example, if
Right.
the immunity goes down and the patient is at high risk for tuberculosis, he will develop symptoms of tuberculosis, that is loss of weight, loss of appetite, cough, fever. Similarly, if he develops infection like pneumocystis jirovecii, then they will develop cough, fever, breathlessness. So depending on the opportunistic infections which they
Mhm.
develop as the CD4 count wanes off, they get those specific symptoms. But if
Right.
you speak in overall HIV patients will definitely have loss of weight, loss of appetite, low grade fever, generalized lymphadenopathy. These are some of the common symptoms which all patients of HIV/AIDS will have.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Lakshman, for coming to our show and sharing your valuable time and knowledge and insights with us at MediCircle. It has been a pleasure having you on the show.
Sure. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, sir. Take care. Good day.